Well, look at what we have here. California busts out Haymon for sabotaging rival show, according to the commissioners. This article was written up by Boxing Insider by Ivan Goldman. And I'm going to give you a little snippet and preview. I want you to check out Boxing Insider when you get a chance. Just type in Boxing Insider and do Al Haymon. You'll see it. And it says here, the California Commission caught boxing godfather Al Haymon blocking preferred Los Angeles venues in an effort to sabotage the shows of his competition, says Commissioner and ex-cop John Fearson. He was holding up the dates at the Forum and at the Staples Center, said Fearson in the startling revelation. We took that away from him. Fearson says Haymon, who this year launched a new entity called Premier Boxing Champions, or PBC, was apparently reserving the venues long enough to disrupt the competition and would then pull out later. The Forum and Staples Center are the two biggest boxing venues in the Los Angeles area. He said Fearson didn't specify the precise actions used to halt the blocking practice, but the commission's licensing power over promoters, managers, fighters, and others, who seek to do business in the state can be an effective tool. He said, we're the commission. We can stop it, and we did. Apparently, the sabotage was ended months ago. Now, there's more into it, and you can read it a little bit later, but, this does not surprise me at all. So let me try to help you read between the lines. Here's what it means. Bottom line is Al Haymon has PBC. He's got dates with ESPN and CBS, NBC, Spike, and all that stuff, right? So what he's trying to do is he's got to kill the competition, which would be Oscar De La Hoya. Everybody knows that Oscar and Golden Boy Promotions rents out the Forum, Staples Center. LA is huge for them. So what you do is you call those venues and say, hey, I want to put on a big mega fight there. I want to reserve it. He might put a nice little small chump change down to reserve it, right? And then what happens, he puts on the shows apparently lately in his fighters' hometowns. So while he's having fights, Golden Boy can't have fights in the Forum of Staples. They're saying, sorry, Oscar, this has been reserved. We got a down payment. So what does that do? It blocks Oscar to sit on the sidelines while Al Haymon puts on his PBC shows. And then what he does, then after his shows, he pulls out and says, he'll pull out maybe a week or two, prior to that and say, hey, I don't need that venue no more. Of course, they might get to keep the little deposit, but, what's 20 and 30,000 when you just stopped, your rival show, that's nothing. So, the commissioner say, hey, you keep doing this. We notice that you have a record of putting a little deposit on these events, then you pull out a couple weeks. So somebody might say, well, why don't Oscar just scoop it up then? Because you need longer than a couple weeks to put on a show and promote and advertise, get people interested in coming out. You need at least a good month and a half, 2 months, out. So, Al Haymon got busted and the commissioner shut him down. Said, listen, you're doing this too many times. We know the game. We know what you're doing. You're purposely buying this so Oscar can't put on shows to compete with you. And or anybody else that even might have wanted to rent it. It could have been Bob Arum, Top Rank, others also. But specifically, we know Oscar, that's his area. So what do you think about this, about the sabotage that Al Haymon was trying to do? And do you applaud the California commissioners for shutting him down from doing that? Or do you think it's really no big deal, no issue? Leave your comments and thoughts below.